Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Kip Palmer from Cycle News. We're in the Royal Enfield headquarters in Milwaukee, and today we got to spend the day on the new Guerrilla 450. This bike was first introduced, they had a global introduction launch about a year ago, maybe just a little over a year ago, but this today was the North American launch. Because this bike hasn't been in the United States or Canada, and I think it's now just showing up in Mexico as well. So this is our first chance to look at it. So what is the Guerrilla? Well, it's based on the Himalayan, which was introduced, I think, a little over a year ago as well. And the Himalayan had the new 450 liquid-cooled engine. This bike is basically that same platform. It has essentially the same frame. It has the same 450 Sherpa motor in this, and it's more of a roadster style that they came up with, and it's not just your typical roadster. They were looking for a little different design, so it might not look completely like your typical roadster, which I'm not even sure what is your typical roadster look, but this one has, the Royal Enfield definitely has its unique look. So it's a very simple bike, not much plastic, if any, on it. It's a good looking motorcycle. I really like it. It comes in 3 different colors. You have this silver, and there's 2 other versions that both look really, really nice. So today we rode a little bit of city streets and freeways, and when we were leaving Milwaukee, downtown Milwaukee, and we headed out to the countryside through all the trees and a little bit more open road and some sweeping turns. And we put about 135 miles on this today, and my overall take of this motorcycle is how easy it is to ride. It is really one of the easiest 450 street bikes I've ever ridden, and it's just it feels very light. I believe the dry weight is about 382, wet, I think 402. So it's a very light feeling motorcycle and very, very agile. And it has a relatively low 30-inch seat height and very neutral ergonomics. Very neutral, kind of straight up, maybe just a tick lean to it. So it's very comfortable to sit on and very light, very maneuverable. That's what really stood out first when I hopped on this. And second would be the motor. The motor is outstanding. It's amazing how much power it puts out for a 450, and it's very usable. It has really good torque, and it has good mid-range, and then like on the highway speeds, like you're around 60 miles per hour or so, it doesn't feel like it's straining at all, and the vibration is really, really minor for a single cylinder bike like this. You feel a little tiny buzz, like in the mirrors, maybe in the tank a little bit. You don't really feel it too much in the hands, and not too bad in the foot peg. But for a 450 at about 6,000 RPM, it's not bad. It works. It's really, really, really smooth. So the motor's really good. The only real difference, well, there really is no difference between the Himalayan motor and the one in the Guerrilla. The only difference is gearing, and that's external gearing. They put a little bit bigger sprocket in the rear. It's got 2 teeth larger than the Himalayan, and that's it. That's the only difference. This bike also has 2 engine modes. You just have the standard, and then you have like eco. You do notice the difference between the 2. It's not drastic, but the standard engine mode is the one you're going to want to be in for most of your riding. I would say the eco mode is really good under adverse weather, maybe something really, really wet and stuff. But I think otherwise the standard mode works out really well. There's not too much to it electronic-wise. That's pretty much it. It has ABS. You can't turn it on or off, which is fine because it's not a dirt bike. So you're not going to be really needing to take it off anyway or turn it off anyway. So the ABS works really well on this. Okay, and the Guerrilla has Showa suspension, and it works well. It's non-adjustable, but they did a really good job coming up with a good standard setting that I think will fit a wide range of riders. I'm not particularly heavy. Probably with gear on, I'm probably about 170 pounds, 175. And it felt fairly firm to me. It didn't feel harsh, but it did feel a little bit firm. You'll feel every bump out there, but it's it doesn't ruin the ride or anything like that. You will feel it, and you'll really like that once you start getting into the turns. You'll like how the suspension stays up. It doesn't droop in. There's not a lot of rocking forward and back motions when you're going in and out of the turns. So they came up with a good suspension setting for this. And like I said, even though you can't really adjust it, it's pretty good the way it is. You do have a little rear preload. You do have that adjustment. So if you need that, there is that. So the suspension is good. Like I said, the frame is the same as the Himalayan. I believe the brakes are pretty much the same. And it has a 2.9 gallon gas tank. And so this thing's it doesn't drink a lot of gas. So you'll go a long ways on a single tank. It'll go probably farther than you're going to want to go on a single outing on it. So the gas tank's good, it gets good range, and the tires. Oh, that's another difference between the Himalayan and this is 17-inch wheels front and rear, where the Himalayan has 18 and 21. So there's a little bit different there, but so for riding on the road, it works really, really well. The bike's very comfortable. It has a really nice seat. I was really impressed with the seat with it. And like I said, we rode 130, which is a fair amount. And I didn't feel cramped at all. We did have one fairly long stop for lunch, maybe about an hour or so. So that was the only real break we had all day. But basically just sat all day on this. And I felt it was really comfortable. I had no hot spots. I wasn't cramping anywhere. Arms felt good, legs felt good. I think it's a very comfortable motorcycle. I'm a little on the tall side, probably about 6'1", and I was totally fine on that. Did not feel cramped at all. And I also think maybe somebody not quite as tall will feel very comfortable on it because the seat height's pretty low. And like I said, the bike's low, so you won't feel intimidated on this at all. So overall, really like this motorcycle. Royal Enfield is doing a really good job on the mid-size market for the street and a little bit of the off-road. They're doing a great job, especially with this new 450 engine that they've got now, which I'm sure we'll see down the road in other models as well. So for now, this is our first ride on the new Royal Enfield Guerrilla, and very impressed with this bike. Not much I can think about. Nothing really stood out that I didn't absolutely not like about the bike that I would change or anything like that. One thing I did really like about it was how it launched from a stop sign. Really easy to get going from a stop on it. So an entry-level rider or something will really appreciate it a lot. It's not, you can't do fast getaways for some reason. You have to kind of slip the clutch a little bit, but it's really easy and it doesn't stall. Very easy to launch, which I think is real important, especially for entry-level riders. But again, overall, really like the bike. Super easy to ride, very unintimidating. So we'd definitely like to spend a lot more time on this thing down the road. So anyway, we will have more on this bike. We'll have an in-depth test in our digital magazine, the Cycle News magazine, and then we'll also have a follow-up with on our website, Cycle News Online. So hey, thanks for checking it out, and we'll see you at the next one.